This may be the best draft class for running backs since 2017, which consisted of Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, and we might have the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. This running back draft class is stacked, and with the Senior Bowl fast approaching, here are my top 10 running backs in the 2023 NFL Draft. And what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse with me, only doing a top 10. There's going to be names left off the list. Let me know who are some of your favorite running back prospects in this class. I'll talk about some of those guys at the end of the video, so stick around and find out. And also a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. They bring a cool fantasy aspect to sports betting, and they have all your favorite sports. So check them out when you use promo code Broshmo. When you sign up, they hook you up from the get-go. But remember, my friends, bet responsibly. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker with number 10, Kenny McIntosh out of Georgia. He's been a favorite of mine. If you've been around the channel, you know this is a guy that I've continuously shouted out over the last like 2.5 years. I think he's much better than what they've had in the past. I would even dare to say, like, I think he's a better prospect than what James Cook was. Definitely liked him better than Zamir, but he's 6'1", 210. Had a pretty good year, still stuck in that rotation there at Georgia, but kind of had his chance to kind of be the lead back of that committee that they have back there at Georgia. And this dude's just a stupid fast athlete. He's explosive, he's shifty, he's a very fluid athlete, very dynamic, so much so that he's got return capabilities. On top of that, as you can see, he's a very good receiver. You could have gone watched the opening game, Georgia versus Oregon, and saw his capabilities as a receiver. He's got actually pretty solid hands, and like, it's just a do-it-all guy, man. I'd be willing to take this guy somewhere in the third round. Shoot, man, depending on how he tests out, man, I'd be talking about him midday too, potentially. But he's also, it's nice to see that he doesn't have a lot of mileage on him either, thanks to, you know, being there at Georgia, where they don't really put a lot of mileage on running backs. But man, this guy is such a mismatch, especially in the receiving game. Like, oh, he will toast linebackers, he will toast safeties, man, and he's got relatively good contact balance as well. And I just love what this aspect he brings when he is on the field. It could be run, it could be pass, and then obviously the return capabilities. Might not be a guy that can handle the full workload, just because, you know, we don't know. But in today's NFL, it's like, who cares about bell cow running backs anymore? So that is a fair. Still developing his vision a bit. There's times where he's a little too indecisive in the backfield. And while I would say he's got fairly good contact balance, I wouldn't say it's like next level amazing. I really won't say that. But we're going to get a chance to see him in the national championship tonight. And I'm going to be doing a watch along, so join me for that. Number 9 on the list is Keaton Mitchell out of Eastern Carolina. Man, this cat was very, very fun. I couldn't wait to turn on the tape of this guy. 5'9", 184. I think he eventually had over like 1,500 yards, I believe, for the Pirates there. Let me check. No, it was just 14. No, I'm looking at last year's. Oh yeah, no, it was 14. 52. I thought he may have creeped above. Kind of is what it is, but he's a former 3-star recruit out of the 2020 class, participating in track and field. He was clocked in back in high school, doing a 4.340. So you like to see that. His father, Anthony Mitchell, actually played for the Bengals, and the Jaguars won a Super Bowl with the Ravens, so he's got a nice little pedigree to him. He's been the full-time starter the last 2 years. It's been amazing. Only missed one game this season. He got a concussion prior to the season, so he missed the season opener. But outside of that, he was a starter throughout, and dude's got blazing speed. Literally, he has catch me if you can speed, and literally make you miss ability. Like, his stop start ability is nasty. He's got filthy quicks. I love the suddenness. I love how nimble. And you already look at his like stature. It's like, okay, he is a bit of a smaller back, somewhat, and he gets he further minimizes himself. Already a guy that can run nimble between the tackles, but a guy that could even go further. He's just so hard to put a hand on, man. And he was one of 3 backs in college football last year, or this past season, with 64 missed tackles on less than 180 carries. That is nuts. Most backs ahead of him had 60 plus carries than he did. So this guy is literally make you miss. Good luck. He led all of college football in runs for 10 plus yards and 15 plus yards. Legitimate home run threat when he gets the ball in his hands, whether it's via the run or in the passing game, where it's wheels, screens, swings, stuff like that, man. Like he hasn't been a return man since high school, but I believe that's something he could probably do in the NFL. Size might be the concern with him. Won't be a bell cow back by any means, so some teams may worry about his longevity if he starts to take on more touches. I'm not too worried about that. He's capable of brushing off arm tackles, but will go down on cleaner contact. Like, this guy is more make you miss than actually like breaking a tackle. Again, scary as a receiver, but doesn't have the best set of ball skills, I would say, but still love this guy. Got him as a 3rd round projection. On to the next, take Bigsby out of Auburn. Bigsby, former 4-star recruit, has been playing a lot for Auburn in the last couple of years. Almost transferred last year and quickly took his name out of the transfer portal. But this year, I like it. I like that he's been more decisive as a runner, I guess is the best way to put it. He just displays good vision. He sees the holes open up extremely well. Once he sees a hole, plants his foot and goes, man. And he could usually, like, he's tough to bring down. Sometimes it takes multiple defenders to actually bring this guy down. He's got very good burst off his plant foot, shows good elusiveness in the open field. We saw a lot less I guess you would say bounciness in the backfield, and more of that decisiveness, which I always like to see. Bounciness turns into negative plays. Saw a lot less of those this season. He's got great physicality, probably the best stiff arm in this class, and better than you would expect as a pass catcher, but does have focus drops. So might not be ideal all the time in the screen game. Did develop a fumbling problem back in 2021. Had 4 fumbles. So just want to point that out. There were lots of instances, and this again dates back to 2021, where he was halted at or behind the line of scrimmage. So doesn't exactly have the creativity all the time in the backfield to kind of make something out of nothing. But he can be shifty in the open field. There are times where he does get fancy, trips himself up. Again, a lot of that was less this year. So a lot of the good, we saw a lot more of the good this year from him. I wouldn't say he has breakaway speed, but I think it's adequate for today's game. So I'm fine with that. As a pass protector, he needs work. Just in general, he's got the frame. He just needs to be better at getting clean chips or picking up on blitzes. But got him as a 3rd rounder. All right, got Kendre Miller here coming in at number 7 at a TCU. Unexpected riser on the year, played exceptionally well this season. He was just a big play waiting to happen this year. He consistently made defenders miss. He is literally trouble in open space. Like, shows very nifty footwork, eats contact exceptionally well with his lower body. He had over 5 yards after contact, or at least he averaged 5 yards after contact, which is a very good number. Typically, you like to see above 4. You'll even be willing to have like the higher 3 number, but he was cleanly over 5. Love to see that. Very patient as a runner, shows good vision, solid breakaway speed. He had 11 plays of 10 plus yards in 2022. He's very agile for a 220 pounder. 6 foot, 220 pounds. You don't think agile is going to be the word to use him. Now, doesn't have a ton of experience in the passing game. Despite his skill set, really runs the basic running back route tree as a pass blocker. He just doesn't have much to offer. There are times where he has literally just ran back into poor Max Duggan back there, but could probably add more strength to the upper body, especially given his build. I feel like he should be stronger in the upper body than he is, but then again, it's a lot of lower body strength, man. This guy's phenomenal. Got another third round grade on him, which this is extraordinary for a running back class. Like, I think it was last year I only had maybe 5 day 1, day 2 grades. I think I have like 11 day 1, day 2 grades. It's literally bonkers. And then number 6, I got Zach Charbonnet at a UCLA, former Michigan transfer. Had another solid year at a UCLA this season. Had almost 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns, 6'1", 220 pounds. A very Big Ten back in the Pac-12. Just not the typical back you see in the Pac-12 there. And it could have came out last year and would have been probably running back 3 or 4. Instead, he decides to come back for a year, and I don't think it hurts his stock whatsoever, man. I still got him as a top 75 prospect. He has ideal size for the position. Very physical, very powerful runner, very no-nonsense north-south type of runner. Effortlessly just eats contact and charges through contact. Has decent acceleration once he plants his foot. Does a good job of getting to the second level. And like legit, man, this what I love most, and I think I've said this in every prospect ranking video, he never stops churning his legs. I love guys, regardless almost of position. If you could keep moving your legs through contact, that's a big plus for me. He's better than you'd expect pass catcher as well. However, he's not subtle. He's not that explosive, but his skill set will translate to the NFL and be successful. He does lose a lot of momentum trying to change directions time and time again. Just quicks isn't his game. And before we get to number 5, sounds like I got to tend to something. And then number 5, I got Sean Tucker out of Syracuse, 5'10", 210 pounds. Didn't exactly have an ideal year for the Orangemen this season compared to what he did the prior year. But still, man, I absolutely love this cat as a prospect. This is one of my guys in this class. Just he's got a track background. You can see that he's got great long speed, very decisive runner. Once he plants his foot and goes, like, he shows really good explosiveness. Like, in the open field, he has quick feet, and he shows actual make you miss type of shiftiness, but I think he also shows very good contact balance. Like, he operates traffic well. If he's stuck in close quarters, he's a bit of a pinball, just bouncing off of everything. I like that a lot. Like I said, this dude's got the track speed. He's tough. He's durable. He's got better than you would expect ball skills. And the biggest thing this year for him, man, you just saw, like, there's not much of a lateral game to him. Like, he's just not dynamic in that regard. He's very north-south, very no-nonsense, ran the basic running back route tree, but I think he did that effectively at Syracuse. But I'm still a big fan. Got a top 75 grade on him. Number 4, Devon Achane out of Texas A&M, 5'9", 185. Yes, I know. His size, not ideal. Like, he lacks a powerful frame. You would love to see him add more strength. Like, not even strength, but bulk. Because I think he showed a ton of strength in the LSU game this year. I really do. But if you have this guy on a passing down, you know you're going to be using him as a receiver because he's not much of a pass blocker. He's more the scat back. But golly, dude. He brings so much ability as a ball carrier and a return man. Like, he is so good out in space. He might be, or at least up there with fastest back in this class. Very nimble between the tackles, explodes through holes, does a good job of handling initial contact as you go back to 2021, where he was averaging over 4 yards per carry or per contact. And like, you go to the LSU game where this guy's literally fighting off defenders. And I don't know, this might say more about how piss poor of a job that LSU defense was doing from a tackling standpoint. But like, I thought he showed good strength. You like the center of gravity being low on these smaller backs a little bit, but like that speed's gonna set him apart. You just like teams are gonna want that speed, and for me, he was like at the beginning of the year, he was further down my list. Like he was closer to the 10 portion, but him being able like just to contact, especially initial contact, and like fight through that, like just seeing that grit from him just flipped on its head what I totally expected, or at least thought of or projected A-Chain to be. I absolutely love him so much more. Again, brings the return aspect to his game as well. But big fan. In my opinion, though, these next three are in a different league. They're their own tier. With Blake Corum, number 3 here, out of Michigan. We don't know if he'll come out, but I just don't think it makes sense if he decides to return. Like, he's going to be split in the backfield. I don't think he needs to put more mileage on his tread. I don't think there's anything more he can show by returning, so I hope he comes out. I know the injury is probably going to be the big thing. He did suffer a meniscus injury, so hopefully he could return and be able to perform at the Combine or his Pro Day. But 5'8", 210, I love the low center of gravity. He combines that with very good, very quick feet, very good stop-start ability. He probably has one of the strongest lower bodies in this class. Like, he's so determined in close quarters, and preferably you want this guy out in space because I think he's got good beginning speed. Like, he accelerates very quickly. He's shown good lateral ability. Long field speed might be like meh. It might be a guy that might get caught from behind occasionally, but you know what? If you could rip off big gains, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care. Ran the basic running back route tree. Didn't really do a lot as a receiver, as you can see, only 82 yards. But that's kind of fine there at Michigan. Could work on his pass pro technique, though, definitely. And maybe put in a little bit more weight on, get a little more hefty to eat more contact. But I don't really think that's even necessary, just because of maybe the concerns with the long speed. This is why I think it's ideal. Like, he needs to test out. I think he needs to, because if he could run a very fast 40, kind of shut up those naysayers. But I'm a big fan of him. I got him as a top 50 prospect in this class. I love me Corum. And then number 2, I got Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama, 5'11", 200 pounds. I'm not going to lie to you, I really think he's going to be sub 200, but I mean, I guess it's neither here or there. Former Georgia Tech prospect, decided to transfer to Alabama, and dude's nice. Dude's one of the most dangerous guys out in space in this class. He brings good receiving upside, like really good. He might have been the most dangerous receiving threat on Alabama. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the quickest feet in this class. Very fluid, very explosive athlete who is just a consistent home run threat. Love the stop-start ability. Love the make you miss nature. I love that he showed he could run between the tackles this year at Alabama, because he was definitely a guy that would try to get to the sideline as quick as possible and just try to like beat defenders to the angle there. Now, I'm not completely sold on him being able to eat contact consistently, but I think it's fine enough. His balance can be a bit inconsistent, as we've seen him slip on cuts. But again, kind of nitpicking here. What he can do in the passing game and what he has done as a runner has been just great for Alabama. People are talking about this guy as a back end of the first round running back. If you know me, you got to be a special type of running back to be considered a first-round running back, but I wouldn't mind taking him early to mid-second round. And then this cat's in a tier of his own, and everyone knows it. Bijan Robinson is easily the best running back in this class, and if you are going to dispute that, I think you are fighting an uphill battle, and that is not a hill I'd be willing to die on. He is 6 foot, 222 pounds. This cat is a bull, not in a china shop, but a bull who knows how to ballroom dance, how he maneuvers tight quarters, how he eats contact, eats it days. I love the explosiveness. He shows like he's actually super quick in close quarters. He's got ideal position or size for the position, and dude just he eats contact easily. Almost had 1,600 yards this year, 18 tutties. He does actually decent work in the receiving game as well, so you love to see that. Like, he's a guy, it's like straight up you could line him up in the slot and actually get some good production out of him. I'm kind of curious what his 40 will be, but I think he's going to be a sub 4.6 guy, which that's fine. That's a-okay. Like, this dude's phenomenal. Probably could be better as a pass protector, but now I'm just nitpicking. I don't put running backs in the top 20. That's not who I am. I believe running back is a devalued position that you could go out, get solid guys on day 3 or even free agency and just just do a running back by committee. And I think you're a-okay. I think a lot of coaches have proven that is very successful in today's NFL. Like Mike McDaniel, like when he was with the Niners, he's had guys like Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, like Jerick McKinnon. He ends up being like and Isaiah Pacheco end up being the most valuable running backs on the Chiefs roster, despite them investing a first rounder in a running back. But this dude has top 20 ability. He really does. Like, again, best running back prospect we've seen since Saquon Barkley. I probably wouldn't put him past Barkley, but he is up there, man. He is so good. He's going in the top 20. Best believe it. To where? I don't know, but the dude is good. Now let's talk about some of the guys that didn't make the list that I'm going to hear about in the comment section. There's Zach Evans, who basically lost out to a true freshman, or at least initially I thought he was coming into the year and he was going to be really the main focal point, with like Bentley being like the scat back or the third down back. And it was really Judkins came in and was like, all right, well, Zach Evans, your second fiddle. So he decides to come out, but he's a wonderful athlete. Roschon Johnson was Bijan's backup. He's a very good power back here. You got Chase Brown's going to be a very popular name in the comment section. I just don't think he's very dynamic as a runner, but I think he's prototypical for a committee back. Like, he's going to be good in that role. There's Deuce Vaughn and Tajay Spears, guys that are a bit smaller, especially Deuce Vaughn, that just are lightning quick, that can help out in the passing game. So I think those are probably some of the guys. I think that's a good grip of the name of the guys that we're gonna hear in the comment section. Maybe we'll hear like about power backs like Dwayne McBride out of UAB, Chris Rodriguez out of Kentucky. Maybe just super fast straight line speed guys like Isaiah Bandaconda out of Pittsburgh. That might be a guy. Eric Gray, who apparently is not going to test out well, but looks super fast. Like, I don't know. Like, it's going to be an interesting draft. There's a lot of good running backs. I can't wait. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.